You want to use the board? I can pull that out real quick. I ain't talking numbers today myself. So.
Okay, and we're live. Go ahead.
Hey guys, Mike Cook, agency manager here of ISS Insurance Group here in Mattoon, Illinois. Got Justin Gensler here today, Vice President Mortgage Lending of Illinois National Bank. I would consider this guy an expert in the mortgage lending field. The gentleman has done over 200 loans last year, and you've done already 40 this year. Is that correct, Justin?
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this?
Well, mortgage side about 5 years, banking altogether about 15.
15 years. Are you even old enough to be able to be in this?
Since I was 15.
Holy cow, look at that. This guy's been doing banking for half his life. I would consider that an expert, in my opinion, in the banking field. What we're going to talk about today, though, guys, is insurance and also the mortgage side of how they combine escrow accounts, that type of thing. So when you're out with your realtor and you're shopping for your home and you may have 2 to 3, 4 even sometimes different locations that you're looking at, you're going to get a hold of us or who your insurance company is. If you get a hold of us, we're your company. What we do is we will come out, look at that property, we will measure it off, walk it off, make sure we have every characteristic of that home so we know exactly what you're getting your insurance for. I know there's a lot of people out there, maybe agents or other offices, that just say, hey, I'll look it up on Zillow or I'll look it up on maybe another realty site. What ends up happening there is they may not get all the characteristics correctly done or documented. I've been to a property before where 3 sides of the house look great. The back side, it could have used a little work. The second reason why we got to all properties is nowadays every insurance company has a third-party company that will come out and inspect your property to make sure we did it correctly. So if there's stuff that needs to be worked on, we want to make sure we tell you up front so it's no surprises on the back side where we say, hey, you know what, you have some missing guttering maybe or some soffit damage, get that fixed. Because we do not want you to get some type of cancellation notice where you only have 60 days at that point. Now that's just kind of what we do on our side. Once we get them back to you, and you start working with somebody such as Justin here. So let's say, Justin, when somebody first calls into you, what is kind of your process? What do you go through?
Yeah, I mean, it's people get scared of the mortgage side.
Sure.
Like, oh, you're pulling my credit, you're going to ask me about my debts and how much money I make, and it's really simple. It's like a 15 or 20-minute phone call.
Okay.
And, after that, we look at it. You're either ready now, and I'm typing you a letter, email it over to you, telling you, that you can search up to, $150,000 house. And, we've run some estimated payments at that point. And then you're back to the realtor.
Okay.
And you're looking at houses. You find house A and B. You send me the addresses. I pull up exactly what the payments are going to look like to make sure that you're making an educated decision and not getting surprised.
Sure, because that's the last thing you want to have when buying a home is a huge process. Well, not maybe a huge process, but a big decision.
Oh, for sure.
We'll call it that. Mm-hmm. So you walk them through the steps of just kind of step by step and everything like that, and maybe a 20-minute phone call, that first process or phone call. Once you go and land on a home, what does that look like at that point then?
Yeah, so basically, once you've negotiated and you've agreed to a price and there's a contract, it's
sure.
quote unquote real.
Okay.
Right? So that's what has completed the application. We don't have a collateral address. We don't know what house we're using yet. So now we have that. At that point you look at locking in your interest rate. You can't lock a rate in until you found a house that you're going to buy. That's a common misconception.
Okay.
Especially in a rising interest rate market like it is right now. Mm-hmm. That people might want to get locked in right away. Well,
sure.
You find a house first. Now don't go rush to buy a house that you're going to regret buying in a year, but you do. And then after that, we order the appraisal. One of the first things that we do that way, we're not waiting on somebody that we don't have control over with the process. So, we'll get some financial documentation like pay stubs and your W-2s and your bank statements. We get the appraisal back, the underwriter blesses everything, or we get them more information, and then you're getting some keys and some garage door openers. And
nice.
Then the fun part starts.
Sure. And another question that I run into a lot on our side, with home buyers, and especially first-time home buyers, they don't know exactly what escrow accounts are. Yeah. So if you could kind of explain what that is.
It's, escrow just basically the bank, think of it like the bank is opening a separate savings account for you.
Okay.
And part of what you pay the bank each month is just going to go in there and it's going to hang out. And then, twice a year, the taxes are due, right? So we just go right in there, we pull it, and we go. Once a year, your insurance is due. We go in there and we pay it. one common thing on the insurance side that I get a lot is the first year of insurance is typically due up front. So that can be, you can pay for it whenever you meet with Mike, or you can pay for it at closing. And a common question I get, well, Justin, I paid for it for the first year, so why am I paying for it each month going after? Well, it's because it's always paid a year in advance.
Sure.
So you pay it now, every month, it builds up. Next year, the second year's paid. So you're always paid a year. So if you sell that house, you're going to get a refund because you're paid in advance. So,
and real quick on our side in the insurance world, if you do decide to go and change insurance companies and you are escrowed, that is, I know people get a little nervous about that, but that is actually one of the easiest processes there is. What ends up happening is we'll write you a new policy, we will send it to your escrow account, that will then come over the top of your current one, and then you get a refund check back from that, and then of course from that company, and then you just send it back to your escrow account.
For sure. Biggest advice I can ever give somebody, change an insurance company, like I said, it's not a hard thing to do by any means. But if you do, call me. Because what happens is you have to have your home insured at all times.
Sure.
Well, if the insurance that you just canceled, if that letter beats the new policy to the bank thinks, oh boy, they don't have insurance anymore. So just open communication is always key.
Yep.
If you call me and say, hey, I'm switching insurance companies, I'm going to know whenever I get that, not to freak out, that the new policy's coming. So.
And Justin, since we just kind of talked about the basics of everything, and you've been doing this for so long, and you've done very well with it, what separates you from other people in this niche market that you have, or your industry?
It's just follow through on what you say you're going to do.
Sure.
And it's really the biggest thing. I mean, it's not, people try to make the mortgage process seem scary, and there's this hoop, and this hoop, and this hoop. It's really not. You just need to do the right work up front. You need to have the right conversation with your lender up front. Don't try to hide something. It all comes out later. What we talked about between me and you, and it's that initial point. The more information that is given up front, the more success everybody's going to have, and the more stress-free it is. So you can start worrying about what color you're going to paint the living room, rather than, oh my gosh, is this loan? Are we going to close on time?
Right.
And I think that's really where my successes come from. From the real estate agent to the person buying the house, you tell them what to expect and you deliver throughout the process. It's not. I wish there was some great formula that I could tell you that if you do this and then do this, everything will work out. It's just look at it.
And lastly here, do you got a time that was probably one of the most rewarding, I guess, of being able to help somebody?
That's a good. I get asked that a lot, and there's so many. Like last year, helped over 200 people buy houses. There are always, there was this one client, and she still hasn't closed yet, but she's almost, and it was just so exciting that she had been to a couple lenders, right, and they had told her no, and somebody was talking to her like, well, you need to give Justin a call. Just talk to him. I might not be able to help you, but he can at least tell you what to do. I looked at it, and turns out that if the lender just would have looked at it a different way, they would have seen there's a way to get it done. And single mom, 2 kids, always just wanted to have a place of her own. And she just cried. She just started crying. She was so excited whenever I typed up a letter and signed it and emailed it to her, gave her a copy of it, and those are nice. First time home buyers, everybody likes doing cool $1 million loans, right? But the first time home buyer that is just so excited to buy that $70,000, $80,000 house, and you get to walk them through it and closing. When they get those keys, it's just it's neat to be.
I bet it is.
It's neat to be part of.
I bet it is. Lastly, here as we close up, what type of loans do you do? How big of an area do you cover?
Yeah, conventional loans, so from anywhere from 3% down to 20 to 25 to 30. VA, so if you're a veteran, I do a lot of rural housing loans. So, I'm from a small town, Tuscola, so I know a lot of people in Douglas County, Coles County, went to school at Eastern, so I know a lot of people in this area, with no money down, in the rural areas.
Right.
FHA, which is another government loan product. We work with all the grants through IDA and Illinois funds. We have certain, Pretty much everything. I can't
Okay.
really think of anything that we don't really have access to be able to do.
And how big of an area do you cover?
Well, the United States, really. I mean, I can, we can.
There you
I'm
go.
part of a national bank, so if you're buying a house in Texas and you want to work with somebody local in your transition, I can do loans for it.
He's everywhere, folks. And how are you able to get a hold of him?
Huh?
How are we able to get a hold of you?
Yeah, the best way, my direct line at my office is 530-4351. I'm all over Facebook. Email address is jgensler@illinoisnationalbank.com. Office is in Champaign. They're going to move downtown Champaign and looking to maybe grow a little more south.
There you go.
Maybe something coming later. We'll see.
Well, Justin, I appreciate you coming on today. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Again, Mike Cook here, agent manager of the ISS Insurance Group here in Mattoon. If you do ever have any questions for us, phone number is 217-235-2555. Thank you.